Hey yo, salute to the people. It's the social forecast. Today is Thursday, August 1st. It's about 4:15 in the afternoon. Just getting off my day job. Oh, by the way, I hope you all did something today to further your goals and to help you realize your dreams. I know this vlog might rub some people the wrong way because, for the most part, from what I see, people seem to be split pretty evenly down the middle when you start talking about police officers. And you got people on one side who feel like, too many cops are crooked and too many cops shouldn't be wearing a badge and shouldn't be carrying a gun. And then you have people on the other side, I would estimate probably about an equal amount on the other side, who feels like all cops can do no wrong, and you just got to take what you can get from them, and it is what it is, and whatever they say is good money because they wear that badge and they carry that gun. Now, I'm not talking about, in this particular vlog, unarmed police shooting in the line of duty, or an arrest gone wrong, or a traffic stop gone wrong. No. What I'm talking about is the total lack of not just professional courtesy that some of these police officers display, but their total lack of patience, which, hey, if you have a short fuse, that's fine. I can't blame you for that. We all are who we are as individuals. Some people have a short fuse. Some people have a hard time dealing with high stress situations without barking at the people around them. But here's my thing. When the job that you choose entails you working with not just the general public, as a police officer, not just the general public and dealing with civilians, but also dealing with people in your field and fields and industries adjacent to yours, such as EMS workers, firefighters, dispatchers. If you can't handle a high-level stress situation without getting out of character and being nasty to the people that you're supposed to be interacting with, in my opinion, you shouldn't be in that job. Because if we put all of the mystical, figurative shit aside for the people who do jobs like teachers or police officers or doctors, and they say, oh, it was a calling. End of the day, yeah, it may be a calling. You may have felt called to that line of work, but a career path doesn't choose you. Right? This is my message for today. A career path doesn't choose you. You choose your career path. You choose what job you're going to go out for. You choose to get into whatever line of work you choose to get into. You're not forced to do it. It's not a situation where something is pinned on you. You choose to get up every day and go to whatever your 9 to 5 is. Whether you're a construction worker, whether you're in corporate America and you work in a cubicle or a desk job, whether you are a police officer, city hall clerk, whatever you choose to do. Anybody with half a brain who gets into police work knows that it is a high-level stress job. Adrenaline is constantly up and down. You're dealing with life-threatening situations, dangerous situations that don't always have to involve bullets flying and guns and drug dealers and traffic stops with fucking criminals trying to shoot at you and evade arrest and evade capture. So it could be just as simple as a, highway accident, and now you're called out, dispatched out to protect that scene. The first responders on that scene. And that's a dangerous situation because you can be hit by an oncoming car or, somebody not paying attention. I get it. However, you chose that line of work. So if that's a high-level stress job and you can't handle that without getting out of character, talking crazy to people, letting your unprofessionalism show, then in my opinion, you shouldn't be in that line of work. And that's just, I don't know if it's the old school in me. I don't know if it's just my temperament. I'm typically a very laid-back person. I only really have a short fuse with people who I have a history with and who have a history of doing foul shit to me. And then I get to a certain point where it's like, okay, fuck you forever. But still, in a professional setting and environment, I'm almost always able to carry myself as such. The only thing I don't tolerate is disrespect, which brings me back to my point. So here's the backstory. So my day job, I do dispatch work. And part of that dispatch work entails me taking calls from police officers at the scene of motor vehicle accidents. And then I have to dispatch out personnel to that scene. So if as a police officer, because personnel that is being dispatched out by the company I work for, whether it's me on the phone or one of my coworkers or colleagues, if that personnel is late to that scene, obviously it's for a reason. Obviously. So if you're the kind of police officer, like this asshole police officer who called in running his fucking mouth, talking shit because personnel was late. First of all, my thing is this. People can be real tough when they're hiding or behind the telephone. And people can be even more tough when they have a badge and a gun on their side and the law that says they can pretty much do whatever they want and you can't touch them. People become very tough. That shit doesn't impress me. I'm unimpressed by that shit. At the end of the day, it comes down to character. It comes down to professionalism, how you carry yourself, and how you treat the people that you're supposed to be working with throughout your shift, whatever it is you do. So my message is this. If the job that you've chosen brings out the worst traits in you as a person, maybe you shouldn't be doing that job. Because just because you think that somebody is wrong in a situation, and that situation may have nothing to do with that person, just because you feel like now you want to go off on a venting spree and talk shit, one, it doesn't mean that you're right. And two, you're not scaring anybody or you're not fading anybody with that shit. Definitely not an individual like me. Because I'm going to just tell you to have a nice day and keep it moving and going about my business. There's two kinds of people I really can't stand. The people who lie for no reason and do shit that they don't need to be doing and have no reason to be doing. And two, people who are just unprofessional and disrespectful. Those kind of people are really at the bottom of my list as far as dealing with people goes. Now I have two jobs where I deal with the general public, and that entails me dealing with a lot of different people from all different walks of life, different calibers of personalities, different pedigrees, and I'm always able for the most part to understand when a person's upset, why they're upset, and I'm able to understand when a situation is personal, when it's not. But I would just say this to the people who would want to play devil's advocate and say shit like, oh, but police officers have a high stress level job and their job is dangerous, so some of them do get like that. Listen, for all the requirements that are placed against the regular civilian, the regular citizen who tries to obtain a gun license, who tries to exercise their amendment right, their right to arm themselves, they're ran through the ringer, right? But it seems like these police officers who clearly have, in my opinion, some type of mental instability when you're flipping out because personnel is late to a scene, when a situation is out of their control, and then you are informed about that situation and you still continue to run your mouth and say a bunch of shit that doesn't help the situation. To me, that means you, in some way, shape, or form, you're mentally unstable. And I think nobody who gets like that, who talks to the people that they're supposed to be showing professional courtesy to, nobody like that should be carrying a badge or a gun or a combination of both. They just shouldn't, because that's not a person that I would ever want to call in a situation where I might need first responders or emergency personnel. I would never want an individual like that assisting me, because you're unstable. You're liable to do anything. I already don't trust police officers anyway, just because of, type of environments that I was brought up in and was exposed to. Because the majority of police officers I have come across, for the most part, in my opinion, shouldn't be wearing a badge. And I'm not even a career criminal by no stretch. I don't have an extensive history of dealing with law enforcement in a negative way. I just observe what I observe. I just see what I see, and I pay attention to it. And I've come across more than one police officer over the years, even if only on just a traffic stop, where I really don't think you should be carrying a gun or a badge, and I really don't feel like my best interest is at heart with you anywhere near my vehicle or talking to me or interacting with me in any way, shape, or form. Too many of these cops were bullied and picked on and were nerds in high school and middle school, grew up, went into the military, got them a gun and a badge, and all of a sudden they're Mr. fucking tough guy, Mr. asshole. And I mean, that's cool, you know, what works for you works for you. I'm just not one of those individuals who's impressed by that. I'm not one of those individuals who kowtows and bows down and yes sir, no sir to fucking police officers just because they're police officers. Fuck you. I'm the kind of person who I will extend to you every ounce of respect as a human being from jump, because that's just who I am. It's just what my pedigree is. It's just what my temperament is. The second that you show me disrespect, all that shit goes out the window. And it just is what it is. So, moral to the story is, nobody forced you to become a police officer. Nobody forced you to get into that line of work. If you don't like your job, don't do it. Because the problem is, you make people who like their job, you make all the good police officers who are kind and friendly to the public like they're supposed to be because they're civil servants. They're essentially in a customer service oriented job, because not the majority of people that you police officers deal with in the type of city where I live in now, type of place where I live in now, you're dealing with more regular citizens, law-abiding citizens, than you're not. You're not dealing with fucking the south side of Chicago and bullets flying every 5 minutes. You're not dealing with a place like Patterson, New Jersey, where I'm from. You're not dealing with any of the boroughs in New York where shit's going down every 5 minutes. You're in a fucking sunny side, Sunnyvale city, Sunnyvale town, in the middle of the suburbs. There's no reason for you to be all fucking high octane, adrenaline pumped up, and fucking all upset at the first little thing. Because to me, you're just showing that you really shouldn't be carrying that gun, and now I have no respect for you. It just is what it is. So I just stopped through to say that. This message overall is for everybody, not just police officers. People, I don't care if you work at the fucking Department of Motor Vehicles. If you don't like dealing with a high volume of people, if you don't like high stress situations, if you don't like jobs that require you, even when you're not in the best mood, even when you're dealing with people who are not moving in exactly the way that you want them to, doesn't fucking give you the right to act out in a way that makes you make that badge, that uniform, that name tag, that company, that organization look bad overall, because you don't know how to do your job in a respectful and professional manner. That's all I'm saying. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this one. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. And remember, I'm my biggest fan. Be yours. Peace and love.